July 22nd, is the feast of St. Mary Magdalene. Anybody heard of St. Mary Magdalene? Yes. And some of you have heard bad things about her, right? So I'm come here to tell you that they're not true. Whatever you heard that's bad about her, not true. She was not a prostitute. And she wasn't married to Jesus, even if the Da Vinci Code says so. And she wasn't Jesus' girlfriend. What she was a close friend of Jesus. And she used her resources because she was living in Magdala. Magdala was a city, a village that was on the eastern edge of the Sea of Galilee. And she had money. And the gospel says that she made her resources available to Jesus. So when you ask the question, where did Jesus get money from to feed 12 people and also to eat? Because after all, he was human and he had to eat, if not 3 meals a day, at least 1 meal a day. Where did he get the money from? People like Mary Magdalene provided the resources for him. And she followed him wherever he went. So Mary Magdalene became, for Jesus, not only a disciple, but she became an apostle. Now you know the difference between a disciple and an apostle, don't you? A disciple is a learner, but an apostle is one who is sent. And Mary Magdalene had stayed so close to Jesus that she followed him from beginning to end of his ministry, those 3 years, and made sure that wherever he went, she went. So that you remember in the Gospel of John, there is that story that she's sitting in the garden weeping at the tomb, and she hears a voice, and she thinks that it's the gardener, and she says, "Sir, if you have taken him away, please tell me where you have laid him, and I will come and carry him away." Now you know that lifting living people is bad enough, but to lift a dead person, terrible. But she was so caught up with her devotion to Jesus that she was prepared to make that determination. And then comes the wonderful encounter where she hears that voice, and the voice says, "Mary," and immediately she recognizes the voice. And she says, "Rabboni." She's glad. And then he says, "Don't hold on to me. Don't hold on to me. But go and tell my disciples that I'm alive, and I'll see them in Jerusalem." So Mary Magdalene is not only a close friend of Jesus. Mary Magdalene is not only a disciple of Jesus. Mary Magdalene is not only a lover of Jesus, who must have touched him over and over again, but Mary Magdalene is an apostle to the apostles. So she becomes the first apostle carrying the good news that Jesus Christ is risen from the dead. And so tomorrow, when we celebrate the feast of St. Mary Magdalene, think of her as someone who touched Jesus and who was touched by Jesus. Think of her as a close friend of Jesus. Think of her as someone who knew him passionately and was prepared to do everything unconditionally to follow him right into the end. I came across a 4-line stanza about her, written by a poet called Eaton Barrett, way back in the early 19th century, 1810. Can I read it to you? All right. Here's what they say about Mary Magdalene. "Not she with traitorous kiss her Savior stung," talking about Judas. "Not she denied him with unholy tongue," talking about Peter. "She, while apostles shrank, could danger brave, last at the cross and earliest at the grave." How do you like that? Yes. Let me read it again. "Not she with traitorous kiss her Savior stung. Not she denied him with unholy tongue. She, while apostles shrank, could danger brave, last at his cross and earliest at his grave. That's Mary Magdalene. That's the person we celebrate tomorrow. And when we're thinking of the footprints that are left in the sand, you and I are who we are as Christians, followers of Jesus, because of the people like Mary Magdalene, who saw him, touched him, understood him, followed him, loved him, and gave entirely of all that she had and all that she was. She was at the cross, she was at the tomb, and after he died, tradition says that she went to Ephesus, and there she was buried.